Hey, traveler. Paimon.
Oh, Paimon knows that voice!
Over here. To borrow one of the more popular turns of phrase at the moment, this appears to be quite the fate.
You can say that again. What brings you to Poisson? Wait, Paimon's got it! You must be here for one of your magic shows.
Actually, we've run into a bit of trouble on the home front.
Oh, are Lynette and Fremine here too?
Yep, along with most of the other members of the House of the Hearth. You may have noticed Poisson seems a bit more...
So you're saying nearly the entire organization has moved to Poisson?
Since the two of you are so curious, perhaps I can fill in the gaps.
You scared Paimon half to death!
Father, you're here.
You know... On second thought, maybe we...
No need to be nervous. I could sense your genuine concern from your conversation. Of course, I can also understand your confusion. Sending so many Fatui here to Poisson, it's only natural that some... I understand. I'm well aware you've had your fair share of confrontations with the Fatui in the past, and I can't As for right now, however, I would say we have little reason to be at odds, wouldn't you agree? The House of the Hearth could stand to be more... As for the issue at hand, well, it hardly relates to any ulterior motive. To be frank, it all stems...
What sort of...
A rumor that a certain phantom child is hiding away in the House of the Hearth.
A phantom child? Ooh, just hearing the name is giving Paimon the creeps.
A spirit that should have long ceased to exist is lurking in the shadows of the House of the Hearth. So I decided to bring the children to Poisson before continuing to investigate the situation. I expect I should be able to track down the spirit fairly quickly. After that, it's just a matter of... If you're curious, or if you still have some concerns, it might be advisable to stick around for a few days. Lenny, I'll leave you to entertain our guests. I have some matters to attend to.
Of course, Father. It has long been a dream of mine to invite you to our home, and you're quite well known in the organization already. A lot of people have been talking about you. If you're willing, why don't you stay a while and have a little chat with us?
All right. We don't have anything else to do right now anyway. But let's be clear, we're just gonna be there as guests, okay? Don't get any funny...
Of course. During our stay in Poisson, we've been helping out the locals with some fishing. We bring in quite the bounty every day. In fact, today, let's go. I'll take you to where we're staying. We rented this house from one of the locals to use as a temporary base. I'll come back later and tidy up a bit.
Awesome, thanks!
Well, when I happened to run into you two earlier, I was actually With this many people staying in Poisson, we have to bring in outside supplies every now and then. I should probably make sure the rest of these provisions get delivered.
Okay, we'll come with! There are all sorts of rumors about your organization floating around out there. Paimon's not sure if she could even take a... But now that we finally have the chance to see a day in the life of the house, we can take a good look at how you operate!
Well, you're more than welcome to come along.
Linny! We're finally here. The supplies. I'm assuming...
Brought them with me? Yep. Hello?
It's the Traveler and Paimon!
No way! Come here, everyone! Hurry! The Traveler and Paimon are here!
One at a time, please. Don't crowd around them all at once.
Oh, it's all right! Gotta say, Paimon didn't realize we were this... Of course! Father and Linny have told us so much about you.
Father told us about how you helped Linny. According to her, you're a trustworthy friend. And as far as she's concerned, that's pretty much the...
I heard the Traveler is so strong that she can move a mountain with her bare hands. I heard Paimon eats so much that she can clean out the entire pantry at Hotel... Wait a second! That's the rumor you heard about Paimon? Oh, not cool! Oh, wait! When guests visit, you're supposed to give them gifts. Oh, we don't need something like that. Besides, we don't have... Come on! We insist! I can give you some of my new potions. Just be... Huh? Or maybe Shaplo can teach you guys about stealth! He's super good at it! He's never been caught.
Ah, now that's not a bad idea. I know you usually prefer to fight head-on, but it never hurts to expand your bag of tricks, right? When it comes to eliminating your enemies, I was poisoned not too long ago, and I'm still dealing with the after effects. So I'm not quite as good as I was before, but...
Wait, when you said gifts, I didn't think you meant... But those are the best things we can give you. You don't... Ooh, how about this? Tell me the name of someone who really annoys you, and we'll...
All right, Fold, Selwar. I think that's enough suggestions for now. You don't need a physical gift to make our guests happy. In fact, pestering them with suggestion after suggestion might make them more annoyed than anything.
Really? Awesome! It's been so long since we have had guests to play with. If there's anything you need, just let us know. Yeah, especially if it's poison or something. I've got all sorts of potions for that.
Well, we'll talk to you all later. We've still got supplies to distribute.
All right, see you later.
Bye! Lenny, about all that poison and...
Scared you, did it? That kind of talk comes with being part of the House of the Hearth. When Foltz was really young, he strangled all of his family pets, just out of curiosity. He was labeled a dangerous problem child and was abandoned by his family. Elwar has an unnatural obsession with potions. Father has forbidden her from trying all the different concoctions she comes up with, but she still tries to test them in secret. You really have to keep an eye on that one. Chaplot is around my age. While I'm mainly responsible for collecting intelligence, he handles surveillance. He's very passionate about his work and has no reservations about taking on some very difficult missions. I know you two probably aren't used to that kind of talk, but I can promise you they only had the best of intentions. Things like stealth tactics and developing different poisons. Filial, supplies are here.
Thanks. And who are these two? Outsiders?
Allow me to introduce you. This is the Traveler and Paimon.
Oh, you're the famous duo I've been hearing so much about. It's nice to meet you. I heard you've traveled to all sorts of places. Is that true?
Of course! We're We're making our way all across to that!
Oh, good for you.
You must be pretty familiar with Fontaine by now, then. Have you seen the new opera that started running recently?
Oh, this is the first we've heard of it.
It seems like it's going to be fantastic. From what I've been able to tell from the posters and...
Oh, and there's The Blind Maiden, too. That one is supposed to have audience interaction. After this mission is over, I think I'll go get a manicure.
Oh, maybe I should dye my hair. Wonder...
Is it just Paimon, or do these two seem much easier to get along with than the others? Looks like the House of the Hearth has some normal members after all.
I heard that.
Oh!
I'm guessing you're referring to Foltz and the others? Yeah.
I bet those crazies are practically foaming at the mouth right now. I'm sure they just can't wait to get back to Snezhnaya to carry out the plan.
That's enough, Filial.
Don't talk about family members behind their back, right? Whatever. Let's go.
Guess this is goodbye then. If you ever have some time, we should go see the opera together.
Well, that's it for the supplies. We should probably head back as well.
Well, they didn't seem too happy with each other. Seems like there could be something more going on here. You're right. We're only here as guests after all. Oh, Linny's getting super far ahead. Come on, let's catch up.
So, what do you think of the members you've met so far? Well, Father is always encouraging us to be strong-willed and independent. So if there's one thing we've got, it's people who aren't afraid to speak their... Well, I should probably get cooking. Wanna join?
Of course!
Then let's head out and... Huh? Fremine? What are you doing here?
Well,
Fremine! Nice to see you again!
you too. I heard you're here as guests of House of the Hearth.
We were just going to make some food. Why don't you come along? I could use some help in the kitchen, and I seem to remember you mentioning you wanted to make seafood soup for the traveler in Paimon.
Seafood soup? Oh, Paimon's drooling already.
Were you looking for something just now, Fremine? Maybe I can help.
It's nothing. I just wanted to see if there were any extra supplies.
Yeah, we've got some left over. What do you need?
Some food and water, and some clean cloth, if possible.
No problem. Give me a second here. Food... Wait a minute. What do you need all of those for? You're not on any missions as far as I'm aware, and you were...
I thought I'd grab an extra portion because I get hungry at night. Could be...
Fremine. You remember what I told you? You're not like me. Your lying skills still need some work. Tell me what's going on. Is it really bad enough that you have to keep it from your own brother?
Maybe it'll be better if we gave them some space.
This is the first time I've seen that kind of look on your face.
Yeah. Just follow me.
You're back! this time?
Hello, my name's Linny. I grew up in the House of the Hearth.
Hi, Linny. I'm also a child of the House of the Hearth. You can call me Clairvy.
Clairvy?
It's nice to meet you. Does that name ring any bells?
No, not at all. That's not a name we have on our roster, I'm sure of it. What I'm not, she must be the phantom child Father's been searching for. From the looks of it, I'm guessing you were the one that found her, Fremine.
No, I haven't told anyone.
For how long?
About half a month.
So ever since we got to Poisson, then. Do you have any...
I know what I'm doing.
Really? 'Cause from where I'm standing, it looks like you're hiding the very person Father has been trying to find. You know the rules of the house, Fremine. I know you do. Father doesn't tolerate any form of betrayal.
I've thought it through. And I just can't hand her over like that. Linny, don't you remember last year? Chaplot nearly died after getting poisoned during that one mission. He wasn't able to get back before the poison. That night, while I was sleeping, I heard a voice telling me to go save him. I opened my eyes, but I couldn't find the source of the voice. That feeling of being haunted, of hearing voices.
So what you're saying is, that was her?
Unless there are other spirits roaming around the House of the Hearth, I don't think there's any other possibility. If Clairvy were our enemy, it wouldn't matter whether she was a spirit or an actual child. But she's been living with us, helping us from the shadows all this time. I couldn't just hand her over to be dealt with. Not when there's so much...
So what's your plan then? You can't keep her here forever.
I haven't thought that far yet.
Come with me. There are a couple things I'd like to say to you in private.
Those two sure care a lot of... Well, they got a funny way of showing it. No way. They have a really deep bond. I could tell. I just don't know how long that kind of bond can last. The darkness in the house runs deeper than you can imagine.
I'm sorry, Linny. I really didn't mean to
Oh, really? You didn't mean to? 'Cause I, for one, wish...
Huh?
You know, when we were younger, you didn't call me Linny. You called me brother. We grew up together, the three of us. We were all orphans, all rescued by Father. Of all the siblings in the House of the Hearth, later on, when you started calling me Linny, I wasn't actually surprised. After all, Lynette and I are related by blood. We've had...
Linny,
The darkest and most difficult moments of my life happened before you and I had ever met. I'm sure that's true for you as well. Even you and Lynette are the most important people in my life. No one can replace you.
Oh, looks like things are getting kind of heated between Linny and Fremine. Oh, it's raining. I should put my clothes away. Hey, you two! Oh, wait a minute, Fremine. Well, we're all friends here, right? We've been through so much together, so if there's anything...
It's just a small family dispute. It's not something our guests should trouble themselves with. In fact...
what are you getting at, Traveler?
When guests are around, families are often on their best behavior. I... just... Thank you.
Me too.
Well, back to the matter at hand then. If we don't plan on handing Clairvy over to Father, then our only other option is to solve the mystery of her identity before That means finding out where she came from and what she's doing here. Then we can send her on her merry way and pretend like none of this...
I've tried that already.
And?
And... nothing. She even came with us all the way to Poisson. It seems like wherever the house is...
I don't know much about spirits.
Let's see here. Paimon remembers hearing something like if you fulfill a spirit... Oh, it's just that Paimon doesn't really remember where she heard that, so...
Well, sounds like it's worth a shot. Guess that means we should go ask her about her wish.
What is it?
I need you to promise me that this will stay between the two of us. We're the masterminds behind this whole thing. No one else gets involved.
Of course.
All right. Then let's seal the promise just like when we were kids. Fist bump on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I swear.
Whoa!
Lynette!
But what a surprise! What brings you here, dear sister? And, when exactly did you get here?
You're an idiot, brother. And you too, Fremine. You 3, Traveler. And you
Wait, what did we do?
I've seen Clairvy around the House of the Hearth before. I hadn't seen her in Poisson, so I figured she must not have... I heard you talking about your plan. Rather than steering clear of the situation... If you don't agree, I'll have no choice but to report everything back to Father.
You're not giving us much wiggle room here, Lynette. Well, I guess we're all in this together then. After we talk to Clairvy, we'll figure out our next move. There's no time to lose. Let's go.
I'm full. She said she's full, but the food doesn't look like it's even been touched.
That's right. Based on what I've been able to observe, still, when she's presented with food, she'll always linger around it for a...
Does she know that she has already passed away?
I've tried to ask her, but she didn't answer. My guess is that she's just as...
Clairvy, if you've got some time, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Sure. Oh, another new friend. Hi, I'm Clairvy.
Hello.
Clairvy, how did you join the House of the Hearth?
Huh? Isn't it the same for everybody? The knave brings you here and then you can't leave.
It's just that your name, it's not on the roster. And I've never seen you before.
The roster? Oh, I get it now. I think the people in charge, they're not as nice as they look. They say they keep a roster, but it's not in this house. Some people are family, and other people are just test subjects. Those kinds of people aren't... Wait, does that mean the knave... She...
Is there anyone that can vouch for you?
Perry. She's my best friend.
Have either of you heard of that name before?
No.
Me neither.
Clairvy. Perry. But it seems like she's telling the truth. Either that, or this kid's already got a bag of tricks bigger than mine. Maybe we should try a different approach.
A wish?
It can be anything you want. Just imagine. It's your birthday, you're blowing out the candles.
To go outside, where the sun can find me. That's it? Well, that sounds easy enough. The darkness in the house runs deeper than you can imagine.
Okay, time to divide and conquer. Listen up, I'll try and find a way to use basic illusory magic to take Clairvy outside and bring her somewhere with sunlight. Lynette, try and find the list of executions that Clairvy was talking about. And Fremine, you stay in Poisson. We can't be the only ones who've had run-ins with Clairvy. I need you to collect intel on everything she's said and done.
Understood.
I'll try my best.
What about us? What should we do?
I really appreciate your willingness to help, but this is a family matter. I don't want to drag you in too deep. It's too risky. Let me think. Since Father considers you to be guests, maybe you could stick by her side for a little while. You don't...
Ah, Paimon gets it. You want us to distract her.
I'll give you a magic bird. If Father suspects something, all you need to do is release it when she's not looking, and it'll... Of course, that's only as a last resort. If Father doesn't seem to notice us, there's no need to make contact. If the worst-case scenario happens and we're discovered, just tell Father everything. We're not going to let our guests get punished for our own actions. That's where we draw the line. You too. I really hope this goes well. No.
It's the knave! And... child! Hey, aren't you supposed to be in Snezhnaya recuperating? What are you still doing in Fontaine?
Oh, it's you two. I didn't expect to run into you here. I was unconscious for quite a while after the fight in the Primordial Sea. After I woke up, I realized I couldn't have that now, could I? Not when I've still got unfinished business here in Fontaine.
What sort of unfinished business are we talking here?
It has to do with Skirk, my master. I really wanted to meet up with her, but by the time I still have so many questions for her. Without any other leads, all I could do was ask the knave to help me track her down. She must have left behind some traces from her time in Fontaine.
Oh, okay, so have you found any clues?
Unfortunately, no. While the House of the Hearth is adept at collecting all manner of intelligence, certain existences can still manage to escape our purview.
Basically, unless Master feels there's a need to meet with me, she's not going to be found. But that problem has an easy fix. I just need to become stronger, and then...
Paimon thinks you should focus on getting better first.
The worst of it is over. It's all thanks to that one kid from the House of the Hearth. Elwar, I think her name was. She gave me a bunch of random potions to drink, and that's good because it looks like I really do have to head back this time. The old man's been putting the pressure on.
Project Stuja?
Yeah, that's the one. I heard Regrator's involved too. I'm not looking forward to having to listen to all his monologuing, that's for sure. Hey, helping Linny and the others brush up on their fighting skills would be far more interesting. If you and I could spar, that would be even better.
And what a sweet little daydream that is. But I also have a role to play in all this. I'll be leaving Fontaine shortly as well. Besides, considering how little they see fit to step outside the homeland, being called on to return to Snezhnaya by such illustrious dignity...
One I could do without, I'd say.
Is it just Paimon? Or does it kind of seem like they're...
So, dear guests of the House of the Hearth, to what...
Well, we just... Right! We're super close to Linny and the others, but we still don't know much about...
Is that so? Introductions have already been made, have they not?
Oh, well, you see? There's only so much you can learn about someone from a short
Good question. I'd also like to know.
The fact that you have to ask tells me our intelligence work has been quite successful.
Spoken like a true diplomat. That was some expert sidestepping right there.
Well, if there's nothing else, I think I'll take my leave. I still have a small matter to resolve at home.
Wait, don't go!
I'd also like to hear the answer to this. I've met some of the members of your organization, and they all seemed like really good kids. Which, by the way, if you ever betray them, I'm just letting you know, I won't let you off easy.
And why would I betray them?
Well, you've already betrayed the House of the Hearth once, haven't you? At least, that's what I heard. Okay, I admit. That's just what the old man told me. The rooster, I mean.
Wait, did you really?
Never mind what I've done. I'm more curious as to what the mighty
Well, nothing much. Just some stuff about you taking out many other members of the House of the Hearth.
I see.
Oh, based on your reaction, I'm guessing it's all a bunch of lies.
Hardly. I don't appreciate his particular turns of phrase, although it would be more accurate to say that there is a certain level of prejudice involved. But call yourself a Fontanian, for example, and people will assume all sorts.
Huh? You're not actually from Fontaine? But then why did you?
I was trying to protect the children born in Fontaine. Claiming that I myself was a Fontanian simply made it easier to operate. People would hardly suspect a fellow Fontanian of having any ulterior motives. The primordial sea wouldn't have any effect on me, but it would have caused great harm to the House of the Hearth.
So, you stayed in Fontaine for the kids. I guess I was wrong to believe you'd betray them.
Good. Like I said, I like it when others have misconceptions of me.
Actually, while I was recuperating at the House of the Hearth, I heard that members always resolve disputes and arguments with a friendly spar, and the loser has to back down.
Well, that's only a recent development. In the past, such spars weren't nearly so...
They were that high stakes?
Well, the current atmosphere's not half bad.
Having a lot of family around means dealing with a considerable amount of bickering and scheming. Once Tonya and Tusser enter their rebellious phase, I'm sure you'll understand. Just imagine. Tusser becomes obsessed with plucking out strands from the rooster's mustache, or Tonya decides...
Okay. I get the picture. Well, would you look at the time? I should probably get going. Traveler, Paimon, I'm not sure where our paths will cross next, but the next time we run into each other, we should definitely try and find some time to spar.
Again, maybe this is a conversation we can have when you look less...
All right. Well, thanks for everything, Arlecchino.
No thanks necessary. You also played a part in obtaining the Gnosis.
I like the sound of that. Well, I'm off.
We should probably get going too. Do you want to head back with us?
Oh? You want me to leave so soon?
Oh,
I'm rather enjoying the evening breeze. If you don't mind, I think I'll stick around for a bit. Apologies for not attending to you like a proper host. Please forgive this slight.
We managed to keep her distracted until nightfall. Good thing Child was there to keep the conversation going. Oh, I wonder if Liddy won't get any issues. Let's hurry back and see how everything went. to go?
Well, long story short, we ran into a small issue. Claire V came. Everything was fine at first. She followed me up to the surface just like I told her. But as I led her out of the shadows and into the sunlight, she vanished. I turned around and there she was, standing at the edge of the shadows, silently watching me.
Huh. Maybe she's afraid of sunlight, or... No, it wouldn't be her wish if that were the case. Well, we could always try pushing her into it. Oh, true.
I've pretty much tried it all already. Nothing worked. Eventually, the sun went down, so all I could do was bring her back here. How did it go?
Good. I've got the list. It's
Really? Well, what are we waiting for? Let's take a look! Oh, that's a lot of pages. Oh, it's gonna take forever to get through it all.
We can each take a section. Here.
La Pouillade, l'endroit, Chambel, horaire. Oh, yikes. That horaire guy has a huge scar on his face.
Ah, I've met him before. The scar is from an injury he received during a mission.
Did he say anything else?
Well, I asked if there was someone he was interested in. He said no, and that's where our conversation... It was only later that I learned he really did have someone he liked. He risked everything to escape so he could be with her, but...
Wait, so that means the knave, she...
It may seem cruel, but it's just one of the rules of the house. Betrayal is not to be taken lightly. We know too many secrets to come and go as we please. Her name's not here, huh? Well, that's not too surprising. Let's shift our attention then. Fremine, were you able to find anything out? Fremine.
Sorry. I managed to talk to quite a few people, but I couldn't help but know...
strange.
Yeah, I mean, I know there have been arguments in the past. Times when people haven't gotten along.
Oh, those are two of the people that we met while delivering supplies. Paimon can see how they might not get along. They had very different vibes.
That's to be expected, actually. Father brought us all here, shared her knowledge with us, taught us how to... As members of the House of the Hearth, we're also considered part of the Fatui. And certain members get older and realize they want something else for themselves. People like Chaplot and Foltz are loyal to Father and her vision. They're proud to be part of the Fatui.
These kinds of conflicts have always been there.
Well, that's true. But it just feels like things have... I can't say for sure, but I think they've met Claire V.
You think she's been inciting them to act out?
No, not exactly. But I wouldn't be surprised. She's told me about it before. Experiments being run on children.
And they just believed all that? Without any evidence?
Claire V's words probably gave them the excuse they were looking for. Whether they actually believe them to be
This is all because of Project Stuja, isn't it?
Whoa. Hold on. What's this Project Stuja all about, huh?
Sorry, but I'm not sure of the details either. I only know what Father has told us, which is that it's something the Rooster and Regrader have been working on together. Apparently, it has to do with the Fatui's strategic plan. Because the House of the Hearth was so successful in obtaining the Gnosis, we now have the honor of playing a key role in Project Stuja.
Wait, but isn't that a good thing?
Key role is just another way of saying dangerous role. To us, the whole thing is an inconvenience. Father thinks so too, but she's in no position to refuse. Their plan... It's just that... we'll lose a lot of members in the process. Participating in the plan... it's an honor...
super complicated top secret Fatui business aside, what does all of this...
External pressure has a way of exacerbating internal strife. You can't overlook the power of fear either. I thought resolving the Clairvy situation would make everything go back to normal. But it looks like things are more complicated than I thought. If we leave Filiol and the others to their own device...
We can only focus on one situation at a time, brother.
You're right. Well, it's getting late. We should head back and get some rest. We'll try again first thing tomorrow. Lynette, you stick with me this time. Fremine, keep a close eye on Filiol and the others. Make sure they don't do anything they'll regret. Good work today, everyone. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm always looking forward to an early... Hey, she's even scary when she smiles. If she were to actually get angry... Ooh, you have to protect Paimon if that happens, okay, Traveler? Oh, well, in that case, we should just plan on running away. We'll grab Linny and the others and we can make a break for it as fast as we can. Look! Look over there! Quick! Let's catch up with her before anyone sees! Where is she going? Oh, if someone sees her, we're toast! Oh, look! She stopped! I opened the window while no one was looking. Look how pretty the outside is. If only I could have more than this. You probably think I'm being silly, huh? All this hopeless resisting. Please, help us get on the same page here, Clary. Sure. Although, after you hear all this, everyone in this family is nothing more than a tool. Something to be used and exploited. As long as you're useful, you get to stick around. Lose your value. You're saying the knave did all that? It's just, that doesn't seem like something she would do. She's scared. I knew you wouldn't believe me. Everyone thinks she's a good person. They all... Mother? But she doesn't deserve that title. She's disgraced it and tarnished it. And if I had things my way, if only Perry were here, she'd understand. Perry? There's that name again. Also, Paimon's getting a strange feeling. It almost feels like she's not really here with us. Paimon can't tell if she's actually talking to us. Well, in any case, it seems like she really needs someone. She looks so young. But it seems like she's been through... It's getting windy. I should close the window. Ooh, look at the moon. Isn't it pretty? Hey, wanna hear a secret? I heard that if you look up at the night, Perry and I promised each other that once we're older, but I can't find her.
I'm worried she's all soup and... No, that wouldn't happen to her. She's special. Mother likes her a lot. I should really go talk to Mother, but we just fought. She doesn't want to see me. And what should I do?
Paimon really doesn't understand what's going on with her. Well, let's head back. We've got an early morning tomorrow.
All right, looks like we're all here. Let's go ahead with the plan.
Oh? What is it?
What makes you ask that?
Well, we kinda ran into Clairvy last night, and that's what she told us. We met the doctor back in Sumeru. He's super dangerous, and he's done all sorts of bad things.
It's possible that Father and the Doctor have had certain dealings, but I don't think we're not really on the same side, so there's not a lot of trust between them. I did hear, though, that when Father first became a Harbinger, the Doctor offered to work with the House of the Hearth. Father rejected most of his proposals, except for one.
Secret experiment? Could that be what Clairvy was talking about?
I don't think so.
I don't know any details about the experiment itself, but I do know it's an entirely independent operation. The Doctor only proposed a direction for the research. That was the extent of his involvement. The details of the experiment are confidential, but complete records are kept on all participants. I know you don't agree with some of the Fatui's methods, and I'm not asking you to. But I am asking you to trust us on this. The house...
Alright, that's good to hear at least. Clairvy seems to think the Knave and the Doctor worked together to do something horrible. If that turned out to be true, Paimon doesn't know how he would even face you guys. It's just that it doesn't seem like Clairvy is lying either. The easiest thing to do would be just ask the Knave direct.
Father didn't come back last night. She's probably still near the shore. We'll be counting on you to distract her. Lynette, you're with me. Fremine, you know what to do. Be on your guard, everyone. All right, let's get to it.
Ah, it's you two again. I must say, you look a bit pale. Did you...
A little.
Perhaps if you had less on your mind, you'd be able to absolve yourself of such troubles. So what are you planning to do now? Catch up on some sleep? Or should I give you some time to rack your brain for a topic to discuss before I ask any questions? Although I must profess to being curious. Without child here, how do you plan on
Us? Distract you? A good...
Looks like you could have used some extra time to think. Don't worry. I'll be sure to steer clear of any scheming children.
The ocean breeze is sure nice today.
Children always think they can hide things from the grown-ups. But nothing gets past me. Least of all a little scheming. I think I'll let them have at it for a little longer. Well, I'll leave you to think things over. If you're so inclined, meet me outside the Palais Mermonia. Good things come to children who do as they're told.
What should we do? She clearly knows about everything we've been doing, and Paimon doesn't think it'd be a stretch to say she was threatening us just now. Good idea. Hopefully he sees it in time. Well, we should probably head to the Palais Mermonia. Paimon doesn't want to find out what happens if we don't show up. Okay, then we probably shouldn't keep her waiting. It seems like Linny and the others...
Seeing as we still have some time before my meeting, we might as well enjoy some pleasant conversation while we... I'm glad to see you get along with my children. Being surrounded by good companions is
You're not planning on doing anything to them.
I assume you're referring to Linny, Lynette, and Fremine, although there's that situation with Filial and Nentoy as well. No matter. I'm not one to discriminate. All those who betray the house meet the same...
Does that mean you're going to kill them?
Oh... Are you here to beg for their lives? I'm sorry to disappoint, but the rules of the house change for no one.
But don't you care about them at all? They really respect you. They even call you father. You must feel something for them.
Any organization in which feelings come before principles is one destined for ruin. The House of the Hearth is hardly an exception. Perhaps I can offer you this consolation at least. As our guests, you two will not be held accountable along with them. I would imagine Linny, Lynette, and Fremine will be able to keep their lives. As for Filial, Nentoy, and the others, I'm afraid there's little I can do. They can try to escape, but once you know our secrets, there's no...
But that's awful.
Ah, you seem concerned. Out of consideration for my guests, I suppose I could turn... If Linny and the others manage to dispose of Claire V in the meantime, all evidence of their wrongdoing will be lost. If their efforts are unsuccessful, on the other hand, all will be held accountable. Of course. Oh, and here, I believe this... It takes a considerable amount of time to train a bird like this.
Wait, where did you get that?
Well, I'm afraid that's all the time we have to chat. Now, for the matter at hand. I asked you to meet me here because I have business at the Palais Mermonia. It has nothing to do with you, but I think it would be prudent for you to stick by my side for the time being. There will always be... Well, time to go. Looks like we... It's been a while, Monsieur Neuvillette. I must say, I wasn't expecting my meeting request to be approved quite so quickly. The Palais Mermonia...
It is only right that an esteemed diplomat such as yourself should be afforded the proper level of respect. Although, if I may speak plainly, I must confess that I did not anticipate we would have the occasion to meet again. I see you brought the Traveler and Paimon with you as well. If I may inquire as to the purpose of your visit...
I'll be departing Fontaine shortly. There is, however, an outstanding matter that I would like to see resolved before... It requires a rather lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. So I took the liberty of explaining everything in this...
I understand your request.
I heard you have a certain fondness. A family is like a large body of water with countless As someone who watches over this system, I would hope that each river... Of course, objectively speaking, I know this is impossible. Most of the rivers will dry up along the way, disappearing into the ground, and not all rivers are destined to reach the ocean. But I would not see their existence rendered meaningless.
Did...
Your words paint an optimistic picture indeed. Allow me to remind you...
It may have been tainted at one point in time, but not to worry. I'll make sure it's strained of...
I seem to recall there being a transactional aspect to your proposal.
If you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neuvillette, I will gradually withdraw my force and, unless absolutely necessary, I will no longer...
I presume I can take your words to mean that, in the future, cases
Tartuffe. Ah, that thief who embezzled funds from all those charities, you mean? Of course, if you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neuvillette, I'm sure certain measures could be taken to...
You choose your words carefully indeed. In that case,
My thanks for your generosity, Monsieur Neuvillette. Well, with that settled, we should be going now. I took the liberty of bringing along 2 bottles of spring water from Snezhnaya for you to enjoy. I do hope I can...
Indeed. I trust you would not overlook your commitment in the meantime.
All right, Traveler Paimon.
What exactly were you talking about back there? Paimon only heard you mention some rivers, a large body of water.
You really want to know? I would imagine there might be more pressing concern.
Winnie, Paimon really hopes everything's going okay. Oh, Paimon recognizes that look. You've got your thinking cap on, don't you, Traveler?
Oh, shoot. Are you all right? Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry. I was so focused on selling these papers, I wasn't looking where I was going. Well, let me make it up to you at least. Here.
Oh, you don't have to give us anything.
Please, I want to. It's not like I'm short on supply. It's my fault, really. I was just trying to bring home some extra mora for the family, but I bit off more than I can chew.
What's going on here?
Nothing much. I just ran into your friend here on accident.
Hold on.
Of course, I'm happy to compensate you with mora, it's just... I don't...
I'll take 3 papers. Here. Your payment.
Oh! Thank you for your patronage. May the Archons bless you with good fortune. If only I had the chance to run into such generous customers every day. I should probably just take on a smaller inventory, though, right?
Well, now that my affairs are settled, we should take the boat back to Poisson. We've even acquired some light reading to enjoy along the way.
Actually, why don't we... Paimon just realized how hungry she is. She can't head back to Poisson on an empty stomach.
It appears you two are under the impression that delaying our return will somehow alter the situation. That being said, I could be persuaded to give Linny some extra time. If you agree to my request, I'll even answer some of your questions. You're quite curious about Claire.
Wait, why are you being so generous all of a sudden?
You overestimate yourself. You don't have the talent for better.
Then what do you
The most important consideration in a negotiation is that both sides receive something they want. Demands and threats only get... Wonderful. Here it is. When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation. And let...
Okay. Sounds normal enough. But what do you mean, when the...
That is for you to decide. Then we have a deal. Follow me.
What is this place?
Somewhere long forgotten by everyone. It used to be a grand building. No one comes here anymore, nor does anyone care about what once happened here. Although it was before I became a harbinger, and before Linny and the others joined the House of the Hearth. Due to certain events, I first killed Clairvy.
You were the one that killed Clairvy?
Patience now. Allow me to explain Clairvy's side of the story first. I'll start. Clairvy was 6 years old when she was brought by her mother, Crucibina, to live in the House of the Hearth. From the outside, it seemed like Crucibina was the knave at that time, and the House of the Hearth was under her control. She was Clairvy's mother by blood, but she was also the mother. Clairvy was happy here, for a time. But she quickly realized that being part of this family...
Purgatory?
Exactly. The House of the Hearth takes in war orphans from all over Tevat. But as for how to raise them... Crucibina came up with a novel idea. She would teach the children to fight, force them to duel each other, and then crown as the king of the house the... It's difficult to estimate the number of children who died or were maimed in the process. There's little I can say about the one. They would be handed over to the doctor to be experimented on, or sent away on dangerous missions. Nothing more than...
So those were the experiments Clairvy was talking about. You said that Clairvy was Crucibina's daughter, so if Clairvy tried to convince her to stop what she was doing...
Despite being Clairvy's mother, Crucibina cared little for her daughter. She forced Clairvy to join the House of the Hearth only as a means to demonstrate her own impartiality as a... Clairvy did try to convince her mother to change her ways, but it was to no avail. After her efforts failed, the only other option was to ride... Of course, there was one exception. Someone Clairvy's age, who knew the truth about the House of the Hearth. Her name was Peruere.
Wait, the friend that Clairvy mentioned?
Friend, huh? I suppose we can... Clairvy was a cheerful and passionate person with a tenacious spirit. Peruere, on the other hand, was... Her cold-blooded nature allowed her to see through Crucibina's facade. Yet... it was also this cold-bloodedness that prevented her from acting against it. Despite their differences, the two became fast friends, united by their knowledge of the truth. Clairvy told Peruere that she hoped to create a real family. There may have been a certain naivete to her ideas, but Clairvy proved her determination many times over. She tried countless times to run away, ask for help. Even with her body racked with pain, she would still stand on her tiptoes and open the window at night. She and Peruere would look out at the moon together.
Oh no. What happened?
Her hopelessness resulted from a culmination of things. 10 years had passed. 10 years worth of failure after failure. She and Peruere weren't children anymore, but it was during this time that Peruere suggested a new plan. If escaping was out of the question, why not take... Clairvy rejected that proposal. She claimed that, as a famous harbinger, Crucibina possessed an unimaginable amount of... Clairvy never gave another reason, but Peruere could see it written all over her face. Clairvy still thought of Crucibina. If she couldn't escape and fight back, then only one up. Precisely. Death was the only way that she felt she could. It happened during a duel. When she arrived at the dueling ring that day, her partner turned out to be none other than Perouer. The very person that had stood by her side from that moment on. Perouer's journey was one written in flames. When the rain finally came and washed it all, it was the very result she had predicted 10 years prior. Even then, she believed she would make it until the end. She wasn't surprised by the fact she was unsettled. And there was only one thing that could quell that sensation. Perhaps you two would like to take...
Crucibina, you mean?
Correct. This is the place where Perouer killed her best friend. A mere year later, this is also the place where the moment she acted. Any conception of what was right or wrong ceased to matter. Perouer won the battle, and became a harbinger herself.
So the Perry Clairvy was talking about, it was you all along. You're Perouer. Arlecchino is just a name you got later.
I left that name behind long ago. I must say, hearing it now, after I defeated Crucibina, the moniker of Mother died with her. I chose to forego the title she called herself, and even chose to give up my own name. I rebuilt the House of the Hearth under a new identity, and that is where the story ends.
Yeah. Based on what you just told us, Clairvy wasn't a little kid when she was killed.
I suppose you could call her an illusion born of flame. Her You see, a certain power runs through my veins. It's not unlike a curse. My flames leave of course. The chances of those shadows morphing into a sentient entity are exceeding. Clairvy died when she was 16 years old. But what emerged from the flames was her 6-year-old self. Her appearance wasn't the only thing affected. Memory is a mysterious thing indeed. Losing a portion of your memories will alter your sense of self.
No wonder Paimon got such a weird feeling when we were...
Perhaps I should put it this way. Clairvy is someone trapped in time.
So if all of that is true, then you must have known about Clairvy for a long...
Indeed. She's a rather volatile and unstable entity. Sometimes she would, but other times she would hide from me. Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Your attempts to expose Clairvy to sunlight. They failed, yes. The reason is actually quite but. No matter. All I have to do is kill her again, and all will be resolved.
Wait! Paimon can understand why you might want her gone, but isn't there another way? So what if she's trapped in her 6-year-old self? She's still your friend! At least talk to her first!
It's too late for that. She broke the rules, and now she must be punished. That goes for Filial and Nantoy as well. I hope you understand. The difference between Crucibina and myself lies in our formulation of the rules, not our policy for enforcing them.
Is this really what you want to do?
Whatever could you mean?
Don't you want to say a proper...
Whether as a killer or as a father, there are two things that must be avoided at all costs. Anger makes you impulsive. Well, it appears it's about time to proceed. Before we arrived, I told some of my... I do believe I've kept my end of the deal. I gave your friends quite a bit more time.
Here they are, Father.
You gonna execute him? Seeing something like that would actually be a first. Lenny!
I'm sorry. I heard about how you helped buy us more time, but I still failed. I couldn't find a way to fulfill her wish.
Huh? Are you... Perry?
Indeed, it's been a while, Clairvy.
Perry!
Shh, stay right there. I'm sorry to postpone our reunion, but first I believe certain scores need settling.
Father, let me explain.
Out of my way.
Father!
You chose to conceal a threat to the house. And for that, you must. Overall, however, I suppose your wrongdoing is hardly the most egregious of the bunch, so I'll deal with your punishments later. As for right now, the more pressing concerns are the traitors.
By traitors? Do you mean us?
Father, let me explain. We didn't mean to.
Fultz, why don't you share what you heard?
Yes, Father. Secret Midnight Meeting number 3. Participants, Filial, Nantoy. Nantoy clearly said, if only Father wasn't the one who took us in. Sato added, I'm sick of this life. I just want to live as a normal person. Filial was the worst of them all. She called us crazies instead of—
I did not! You're lying! Fultz is trying to frame us.
It's not like I'm the only one who heard those things. After that, you and Toddy and a bunch of other people started talking about Clairvy. We're birds locked in a cage. The only way out is to destroy it.
You little. You just want me gone, don't you? What did I ever do to you, huh? And you, Sheplo, have you forgotten who stood by your sickbed, watched over you, and changed—
You're wrong, Filial. We don't want you to die. You're our
Liar. You wouldn't be doing this if that were the case. So why?
We all live in the House of the Hearth. You know the type of work we do, Filial. A single betrayal can cost dozens of us our lives. It's not like it's never happened before. That's why the House of the Hearth cannot tolerate any form of betrayal. Ever since we came to Poisson, you've had 7 secrets.
You've been spying on us for half a month? Wait a second. Now that—
Filial, Nantoy, I owe you both my life. I owe Clairvy too. If this were any other situation, I would do anything to repay that kindness, even if it cost me my life. But
Why?
That's enough, Filial. We made a mistake, and we should own up to it. I'm sorry, Sheplo. Fultz, we—
Sheplo, according to the rules of the House of the Hearth, how should these traitors be punished?
all those who betray the house pay with their lives.
And so it shall be.
Father, please wait!
Something you want to say, Linny?
Please reconsider, Father. What Filial and the others did. We all come from broken families. From the very first day we joined the House of the Hearth, we wanted nothing more than to make. But the truth is, none of us know what a real home should. I'm not saying I have all the answers. All I know is this. Killing Filial and the others may uphold the. So please, Father.
I agree with Linny.
Father, please.
Linny, you...
I also agree with Linny.
An order once given cannot be rescinded. However, given the extent of your
Our weapons?
Father, are you referring to a duel?
Precisely. The rules of the house will not be altered. Traitors must be punished. However, resolving disputes with a duel is also one of our rules, one that also applies to me. Demonstrate a sufficient
Wait. Beat Father in a duel?
Impossible. Father is way too strong.
Did you hear that, Traveler? Letting the others have to duel the knave. What should we do? If they lose, those people from the house are really gonna be executed. Hey!
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow causes you to waver.
Oh. Looking at that expression on her face, she seems really serious about this. Guess that means...
When guests are around, families are often on their best behavior.
When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation, and lend your help to the House of the Hearth.
What's wrong? Traveler! Hey, where are you going?
Traveler?
You're asking to join the duel against the knave?
I'll allow it. We do have a ready-made dueling ring at our disposal, after all. All I would advise is this. Keep a firm grasp on your weapon, and give it your all. Any less.
Try not to enjoy this.
Is it my turn now?
Windblade!
Now's our chance!
Now that's more like it. With these rising flames!
Hang in there!
Is it my turn now? With the fall of darkness, destruction shall rise. You have a taste of purgatory.
I really have to draw my blade. Then...
Let's go!
How amusing.
Prepare to be blown away!
Watch out for Father's movements!
Out of the frying pan!
The countdown has
Come a little
begun. Like a fly tangled in a web.
Hang in there!
Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
Help!
You're in for a little shock.
Is it my turn now?
Let the show begin.
If I really have to draw my blade, then...
Is it my turn now?
Nice and spicy!
And voila! Look. Trapped like a bunch of helpless animals.
Come a little closer.
Windblade! Hang in there!
Spare your energy. Seared away. My blade is all that remains.
I'll protect us.
Come a little closer.
Be gone!
You're in for a little shock.
Let's see how strong you are.
Let's dance.
The sun and moon have set. Only ruin remains. All hope has been extinguished.
Watch out for Father's movements! Look out!
Don't be such a brute. Come a little closer.
You should know better than to crowd in one place.
Oh, I know.
No! I'm sorry, Father!
Sorry for what? This pitiful excuse for an attack.
Father, no!
Made it out, did you? You're stronger than I expected.
A crimson moon. I can't move.
Still, not strong enough to beat me. I believe we can end things here. It's not often that we get to enjoy the company of guests, after all.
Brother, are you all right?
Lenny.
Given that I am the victor of this duel, as agreed.
No!
I never thought things would end like this.
However, everyone involved in the duel demonstrated a remarkable level of strength and determination. In light of this, I'm prepared. Elwar, the bottled flames I gave you for safekeeping. Do you still have them?
Yes? I wasn't sure what they were for, but I've kept them super safe.
Wonderful. Then, in just a moment, I'll have you administer them.
Bottled flames?
Indeed. They're the product of a secret experiment. Under certain special once ingested, searing pain will spread across every inch of your body. No harm will come if you can withstand the pain. When you awake, you'll have forgotten everything you know about the House of the Heart. In other words, administering this concoction will kill the version of you. Memory is a mysterious thing indeed.
So, you're just letting us go, Father?
You misunderstand. Memories are extremely important. Once consumed by flame, the version of you standing before me will die.
Even so, I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry I let you down. But I really...
Don't cry, filial. You haven't left the house yet, so there are still rules to be followed, yes? Remember what I taught you. Anger makes you impulsive, sorrow causes you...
Of course.
Dry your tears, and go pursue the life you really want.
Yes, Father.
Chaplot, Foltz, Elwar. Take them back to Poisson. I prepared 3 extra vials of bottled flames. As for whether to take them, goodbye, children. The next time we meet, I will no longer be your father. Thank you for all you've done for the house. I hope...
Father.
Let's go.
Here, grab my arm, Linny. I'll help you walk back.
Thank you.
Clairvy.
Can we talk now? You really are Perry, aren't you? Wait, did I somehow travel to the future on accident? Or am I...
Neither. You died, Clairvy. That's what happened.
You could have at least sugarcoated it a little. Look, she's that speechless.
Oh.
Huh? That's it? You accepted it just like...
Yep. If that's what Perry says happened. Plus, I don't really need to know why I'm like this. I'm more curious about what happens in the future. Can you tell me about it? I want to know what happened to her.
You never stopped trying to defy fate. At first, no one believed you. You could only vent your frustrations to the moon. In fact, later on, you tried to run away, but you were brought back each time. Mother spared your life, but it wasn't out of kindness. And still, you never gave up. Mother hoped that through ruthless duel after ruthless duel, she would be able to crown an ultimate victor among... But you called on everyone to unite, to fight to a draw in order to reduce casualties. Your efforts may have only delayed the inevitable, but still... You gave them hope. You tried everything you could think of, but every attempt ended in failure. Still, you never turned your sword on Crucibina, and you never turned it on me. For the last 16 years of my life, I've done everything I can to fight for freedom. But now, I realize that the only freedom...
I never imagined I would say something like that. I must have been feeling really worn down, but somehow... I still think I understand. According to Mother's plan, only one of us was... If I could do it all over again, I still don't think I would make a different choice. Even when I first...
Is that so? Even now, I'm not sure I truly understand what... But as the head of the House of the Hearth, and as the children's father, I've tried to give them the most basic of freedoms. It's something I discussed with the Iudex of Fontaine. The children who want to leave the house will have their memories wiped clean of all secrets pertaining to the organization. Of course, I won't simply hand freedom to them on a silver platter. They have to fight for it and prove themselves worthy of it. Only freedom that is earned has...
That's more than enough. That's exactly the kind of life I was fighting for. You know, Perry, I think you're a pretty amazing king, and I'm really happy that you're the one who took over the house. I guess I do have one regret, though. I still haven't seen the outside world.
Well, it just so happens that our dear guests over here have been to many nations and traveled to countless places. Perhaps
Really? Of course! We've traveled all over the place. We've got so many stories, we could probably talk your ear...
I was always too afraid to skip Mother's fighting lessons. But at the academia, I bet you could do all sorts of secret things in class. I'm just kidding. Being able to study whatever you want. You know, I used to dream of being a bard, playing the lute while singing into the winds of freedom. Even if there was no one...
The situation was super dangerous. Lenny and Lynette were accused of committing a crime, and...
Oh no! That must have been hard for all...
Don't worry, we were able to turn the situation around super quickly.
How'd you do that? Come on, tell me!
Okay, so it was like this. After the failed magic show...
shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Any new information they encounter... Clairvy, you've worked tirelessly from the shadows to overthrow the House of the Hearth. Now, by my authority as the Knave, I shall announce how this matter ends. You are hereby expelled from the House of the Hearth. You are no longer tied to this place, nor are you bound by its rules.
You're saying that I can finally leave? I get to experience the outside world as well? Oh, I almost forgot. There's no getting older for me. Still, seeing who you grew up to be makes me really happy, Parallel. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
May we meet again someday.
Clairvy. She left so soon. Paimon didn't even get to finish her story.
I also have certain sentiments left unsaid. I wanted to tell her that the aurora I saw in Snezhnaya was just as beautiful as the ones in the picture. But a shadow's memories reset at dawn. Had we delayed any longer, we wouldn't have had the time to say good. Whatever regrets may linger, let them be.
Father?
It's Linny! Hey, Linny! What is he doing back here? Let's go check it out.
Father, the bottled flames have been administered. Filial and the others have left the house.
And you? What have you?
Thank you for giving us that choice, Father. But we never wanted to leave the house. Lynette and Fremine feel the same way. They're recuperating back at the Hotel Bouffe d'été.
I'm sure you're well aware of the expectations I have for you. I want you to follow in my footsteps and become the next king of the... I must admit, I'm rather surprised by your decision to stay. There's nothing wrong with choosing to live a quiet life. Leading this organization is a...
I just never understood what you saw in me. What made you believe I was deserving of that throne?
You're brave, talented, and, most importantly, you would do anything to protect them, even if it costs you your...
Speaking up back there was so brave of you, Linny. It's all thanks to you that we were able to convince Father to back down.
You're a hero, Linny.
Hero? Father is the real hero. Had Father gone all out during the duel, there's no way I would have walked away with my life. I'm not deserving of that title. I'm not strong enough or smart.
You're wrong. In my opinion, all you need to be deserving of the throne is conviction and the necessary strength to act on it. We may have different ideas of what it means to be a family, but you can hardly be said to lack conviction. What you truly lack is strength. Even without that strength, you still chose to face me in a duel, even though the odds were stacked against you. That capacity to honor your convictions...
Father...
No one knows what the future holds, what tragedy or triumph may be in store. Being at the head of this organization requires the strength of will to face what... If reaching a certain standard were required to go after what you want, I would never have succeeded in killing my predecessor. Back then, there was still a strength may decide the ultimate victor, but those who let a lack of strength dictate their decisions or undermine their convictions will never be worthy of the throne.
I understand, Father.
Children must grow up to surpass their parents. The road ahead is not an easy one, so I'll ask you one last time.
You've done so much for me, Father, and that kindness must be repaid. Plus, with Project Stuja at hand, there are many dangers ahead. Protecting my family at all costs.
Then you're welcome to stay. As for Project Stuja, you need not be too concerned. If those having members who longed for the light was our organization's last weakness. With those members no longer among our ranks, the House of the Hearth is like a spider hiding at present. Our imperative is to use their plan to our advantage. In doing so, a crimson moon shall rise amid the frigid blizzards of winter. No demonstration of loyalty shall go unrewarded, and no... As for the two of you, whether we meet again as friend or foe, I'll remember the camaraderie we shared in this moment. No matter how arduous the journey ahead, I hope we both reach our desired destination.
Didn't Linny say that Lynette and Fremine were recovering at the Hotel Bouffe d'été? Lynette? Fremine? How are you feeling?
Much better.
Whew, what a relief!
What about you? Are you feeling all right?
I knew you'd come out unscathed. Us, on the other hand, well... Oh, and I wanted to ask, Linny and the other members have left Poisson and returned to the House of the Hearth. According to him, there haven't been any more sightings of a spirit roaming the house.
I see.
I'm glad. Father came to check up on us 2 days ago and told us about what happened with Crusabina and Clairvy. Actually,
Wait, what? You've met the former knave?
Crucibina died a year after Clairvy. It was during the year between their deaths that I joined the House of the Hearth. Crucibina had an extremely cruel and radical way of doing things while she was alive. When I joined, though, the experiment she valued so much had already come to an end, and all the people involved, dead and injured alike, were gone. Crucibina never talked. A couple of months after I joined, Father killed Crucibina and burned all her files. With that, the names of all the people subjected to her experiments.
Father took in Lenny and me a couple months after that, but she never mentioned anything about Crucibina.
It really seems like something she was planning to keep to herself. The last time you talked to her, did she mention why she kept it a secret for so long?
She said she didn't want us to be affected by the darkness of the past. She was worried we'd develop a false sense of gratitude towards her if we knew the foundation of a family should be free of any corrupting influence. Whatever happened in the past, it has nothing to do, and that's what Father told us in the end.
But I still thanked her for everything. It was only after hearing about what Crucibina did that I finally realized how insignificant our lives could have been. If Father hadn't taken over the House of the Hearth, I probably would have already...
Father rarely brings up the fact that she saved us. She doesn't believe that being indebted to her should be what ties us together. But even if we didn't owe her anything, we would still choose to stay. We may have arguments or times when we feel wronged. Some people may even choose to leave.
Whether the path before us is bathed in sunlight, so I wanted to say thank you for helping us make it through this crisis. Without your help...
Oh, we didn't do anything, really.
Of course. You're welcome anytime.
Are Filio and Nantoy okay?
I actually saw them at a cafe this morning. They didn't recognize me. From what I could tell, they seemed happy.